So 6-4 is interactions with the environment. Biotic versus abiotic. Okay, so biotic is living, abiotic is non-living. So things like animals, plants, fungi, bacteria, archaeans are going to be biotic. That's all living things. Non-living would be sunlight, water, vitamins, minerals, nutrients. Okay? Temperature. These are all abiotic factors, non-living factors in the environment. Cells are affected by both biotic and abiotic factors. Bacterial cells attach to each other to form biofilms. So that is them paying attention to their surroundings, interacting with other cells. Cells are going to shrink, grow depending on water availability. That's reacting with abiotic factors. Cells stop growing after a certain density, except in the case of cancers, which we have talked about. Okay? Organisms also interact with biotic and abiotic factors. Organisms' access to nutrients is affected by other factors. Okay? This is where we're going to get into symbiosis, predator-prey relationships, nutrient availability, etc. Alright, so let's talk about symbiosis. Symbiosis is two species living together. Okay? We can talk about mutualism. Mutualism is a type of symbiosis. In mutualism, both organisms benefit. Okay? Commensalism. One organism benefits, the other one is unaffected. Parasitism. One benefits at the other's expense. Okay? To note the difference between parasitism and predator and prey is that in parasitism, the one that is benefiting is not attempting to kill the other one. Okay? The longer that the host lives in parasitism, the better it is for the parasite. Okay? Abiotic factors are going to affect growth. Better nutrition equals taller individuals. Okay? More sunlight, more plant growth. Okay? So, what is a population? Population is a group of individuals of the same species living together. Okay? So, if we look at the levels of structure, you start with the atom. Atoms make up molecules. Molecules make up organelles. Organelles make up cells. Cells make up tissues. Tissues make up organs. Organs make up organ systems. Organ systems make up organisms. Organisms of the same type living in the same area at the same time make up a population. Different populations of organisms living in the same area at the same time make up a community. Multiple communities make up an ecosystem. The ecosystem all the ecosystems put together make up the biosphere. Okay? Biosphere is a place on Earth where you can find living things. So let's talk about the growth of populations. Under ideal conditions, growth is going to be exponential, as you see in this diagram right over here. Okay? Alright, so this diagram right here is showing you population size and growth. Okay, it is exponential. Okay, it is going straight up. It's going to continue to grow that way. Okay? But there is always a maximum population that sources can sustain. Okay? So, then we talk about logistic growth. So, here is our exponential growth going straight up. Here is what's called logistic growth. Okay? As a population gets bigger, there are more limits on the growth. Most populations tend to stop growing after a while due to what's called density-dependent limiting factors. Okay? Alright, so here is how we calculate growth. Okay? This is rate. Okay? dy divided by dt. dy is the amount of change. dt is the change in time. dn divided by dt equals b minus d, birth minus death. Okay? dn is population size, time. Okay? This is a change in population size divided by the change in time. Okay? Exponential growth is dn, change in population size divided by change in time. Our max is the maximum per capita growth rate of population. And here is what we do for logistic growth. Okay? K being the carry capacity. Carry capacity is that limiting factor. Alright, so let's talk about density-dependent limiting factors. As a population increases, there is more competition for resources, food, space, water, etc. Okay? As you get density-dependent factors, as you build up a population, diseases are going to spread more quickly. Okay? You're going to get more predators as a population grows. Okay? Population may stabilize around the carrying capacity. Carrying capacity is the max population the environment can hold. If population growth doesn't slow down, the population usually destroys its resources and crashes. Okay, so that's what you see here. Okay, so what has happened is this population has been growing. It has gone way above its carrying capacity, so now it's totally destroying its environment, which causes a very quick crash in the population. Okay. By the way, when it begins, notice what also happened here with carrying capacity. As it overshot and began to destroy the carrying capacity, the environment was able to support less and less organisms. Okay? This happened to human populations. Okay? Alright, the birth rate and death rate. You will notice the birth rate is not really falling. Death rate is also not really falling. Okay? So the question is, has human population reached its carrying capacity? We do not know. Okay? So you will notice this is a graph of human population growth and expected human population growth through 2050. Okay? Also notice the difference between pre-industrial societies, early industrial societies, mature industrial societies, and what we call post-industrial societies. Okay? Here is population pyramids. Okay? And you will notice this shows the percent of the population at each age level. Okay? Rapid growth you see in Kenya. Kenya is a pre-industrial society. Okay? It's a third world country is how we generally term it. You will notice it has very few people as you increase in age. Here in the human population, you will notice that we tend to have a very heavy middle. Okay? And then in Italy, which is not as a mature industrial society, you will see that the shape looks a little bit different. Okay? Alright, so this is the demographic transition model showing how the population pyramids of different countries have changed over the years. Okay? Alright, so the sort of good news, you can see that population increments as the size has gone up. Okay? You will notice that the number of individuals increasing has gone down. Alright, members of the population can affect each other in many ways. Okay? When you have multiple individuals in a herd society, you get to help care for the young. It also helps to find food, helps protect individuals as a group. There's a signal when in danger. Okay? Share living spaces, hives, nest. Okay? We've all seen the little videos of the little prairie dogs, and you have the one sentinel out there who's ready to signal that there are predators coming. There are also harmful things that we can affect each other with. Also, sexual reproduction is easier the more organisms in the area. Competition. We're now competing for the same resources in the same area at the same time. Okay? So, that resource could be food, mates, if there is a small population, for resources of any type. Okay? Also, diseases can spread faster the larger the population. Okay? We can also destroy the environment. Alright, so don't get lost in the crowd. Ask questions. Okay, so I'll post discussion board 6.4.